Hello. Have you ever heard of sarcopenia? What that is just age-related muscle loss, and that starts in your 30s. Believe it or not, you don't have whatever age you are right now. In your 30s, you start to lose human growth hormone, and what that does is that creates a loss of muscle. Now, there are other reasons that can cause you to lose muscle mass. It can be chronic diseases like diabetes, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, COPD. There's many chronic diseases that can contribute to that, and then that could just make your life worse. The other things could be from like just a bad diet, not taking enough protein or eating enough protein. Injuries could do it, but that's not really age related, whether it's injury. But one of the things it is, if you stay injured in a chronic condition, that can contribute to it. There are different ways that doctors test for it. They got DEXA scans, you got bioelectrical impedance analysis, BIA. They muscle mass and these different things. So there's different diagnoses and there are different ways that you can do it. I want to get into different natural ways you can treat it, and that's one of the things that's going to help your life be a lot better, make you a lot healthier, and that's one of the things you look at. So one of the things that people notice is that whenever they go to climb stairs, or whenever they get ready to get out of a chair, or they go to open a water bottle, and their grip strength is gone, or they can't carry the groceries in from the house without being tired or hurting, or they just don't feel strong enough, or they end up falling, or their balance is just off. And I see that a lot with seniors, and that's not just happened overnight. It's been a gradual process over the course of years, and you don't want that. And so, ways that you could do it, I want to give you two: exercise, resistance training, meaning that you don't have to go to the gym and try to lift the gym. You can actually just go and start with light weights and use the machines to help guide you through it to build that resistance up. That's the most effective way of strength training with weights. The second most important way you can do it is calisthenics. Calisthenics are like body weight exercise, push ups, sit ups, squats. I mean, there's pull ups. If you can't do a pull up, you could just hang. There's so many different ways that you could do it to strengthen your body, and you want to challenge muscles and be intentional about it. So what happens, you start to see, is people start walking slower and slower, and then it just starts to break down, and we don't want that. The second way that you can improve it is you can actually start by watching your diet. You need to make sure you're eating nutrient rich foods that are high in protein. So green leafy vegetables, lean meats, beans. I mean, there's so many different things that have protein in it, but you want to try to strive for at least. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you want, for every 1 pound, you want a gram of protein. If you're a bodybuilder, you probably got these guys. If they weigh 200 pounds, they're probably eating 400 grams of protein. They're probably eating 30 to 40 grams of protein with every meal, and they're probably eating 5 or 6 meals a day. And that's how they can actually build muscle. Protein is the building block of muscle, and if you don't get enough protein in, that's one of the easiest ways to actually cause muscle loss. But you got to work that muscle. And I hope that helps, because this is just little things that you could do to actually slow down sarcopenia, and then you can actually reverse it. So you want to be able to be walking around, playing with your grandkids, doing things, taking vacations, traveling. When I talk about structure and I talk about age-related muscle loss, which I see in seniors, and you see with seniors most of the time, they're starting to slouch, they're starting to bend over. They're losing muscle mass so fast, and then they end up with a cane, then they're with a walker. Next thing you know, they're in a wheelchair, and then they're bedridden because they don't have the muscle mass, that they once did. Once you stop using that stuff, it's hard to get it back, especially with age. And one of the worst things that can happen to females, if you fall and break a hip, if you fracture a hip over the age of 60, 65 to 69, I mean, the increase chances of you living another 3 years decreases dramatically. And the older you are, the higher the percentage that you won't live that long. Somebody in the 80s break a hip, that's pretty bad. So you want to make sure that you actually have the strength to support your body. The only way you can do that is constantly work those muscles to support those joints. So when I talk about structure, structure has two main functions before I go. Number one is it keeps you upright, which is your posture. So we do a lot of postural strengthening muscles in my office to keep you upright, head forward. You're not slouching down like that. You know, you got to do those things. And then the second function for your structure is to actually protect your nervous system, which controls everything. So when you actually start to slouch and you start to be all out of alignment, you're gonna put pressure on those joints, and then that speeds up osteoarthritis, and that can cause a lot of different problems and eventually to severe pain. And that's why people end up with replacements, hip and knees, and spinal surgeries and so forth like that, because their body is not able to support itself, or it could be an injury. So with that being said, I hope I've given you the tools to actually make sure that you actually fight this sarcopenia, and you can't stop it. Your body's going to eventually break down at some point, but you want to make sure that you don't speed the process up. You can slow it down by listening to stuff that I'm telling you. Again, this is your adjustment with Dr. Artis. Hopefully you can make some of these adjustments in your life, and that can actually transform your life so you can actually be around for a lot longer and be healthier. So whatever you do it well and be blessed. Thank you.